So I was in a bar in the square behind me, and I'd had a couple of drinks and I was with a friend, and at some point my friend went to the toilet, and when he was gone, someone sort of stepped into where he was. They were kind of looking at the food on the bar, moving strangely, catching my attention, and I didn't think anything of it at the time. But then 10 minutes later we walked out, and I was like, where's my backpack? Not only where's my backpack, where's the 10,000 euros worth of gear that was in my backpack?
And then just a couple of weeks later, I was in this same square saying goodbye to a friend at night, and I was just about to jump in a cab, and someone grabbed my phone off my jacket.
I've always been pretty lax when it comes to my personal security here in Spain. Over the last 12 years, I guess I've had the it won't happen to me mentality. While you hear stories often of tourists getting pickpocketed in Madrid, I spent 12 years in a lot of busy bars, leading tours, eating, drinking, and it has never happened to me.
And I was similarly lax, although a little bit less than James, I would say. Been here my whole life, lived in Madrid since I was pretty much born. It had never happened to me. I had never been robbed. Although twice I had caught people trying to get in my wallet, actually, in my bag. So,
and not me.
No.
This video is going to be part true crime story, part public service announcement, and look, kind of part tapas crawl to at least...
Always.
Yeah, have it not all be about us being robbed. We debated, Yoly and I, a lot about whether we should make this video, because I know there is a lot of fear around getting pickpocketed, robbed in the tourist center of Madrid and Barcelona, and I don't want to contribute to that. I've always actually been proud of the fact that I've never been robbed, and on my tours I've always said it to people to kind of show that it doesn't have to happen to you. I've lived here for so long and it hasn't happened. But when my mother came to visit, my parents came, she was clutching her handbag, and I kind of felt like she was paranoid, and I always wanted to play the devil's advocate to that. But the fact is, it has happened to us, both of us. If I can make this video and help you guys understand the risks better, I hope this video shows you that it doesn't have to happen to you if you're smart, and of course if it does happen, how to be smart and how you respond and what to do. With that said, here's what happened. So that morning I had been filming a scene for a recent video in the Plaza Mayor, and then I was meeting a couple of friends for lunch in a restaurant nearby. And I had this backpack, this very backpack on my back. And inside the backpack was, well, not this camera that I'm filming with, obviously, the equivalent of this camera, which with the lens and everything, worth about six and a half grand, and also my MacBook Pro, worth three and a half grand. The grand total of the value of the things in my backpack was, say, around 10 grand, which, as I say it now, it was such a stupid idea. With all that stuff, and have lunch with alcohol, carrying that amount of gear on my back. And really, first lesson, if you're going out to tapas bars or for lunch, just put your stuff in the safe back at the hotel. You think you're gonna have an eye on your things, but once you have a couple of glasses of wine, you don't have an eye on your things. And after lunch, we decided to go for la última, the last drink, a very Spanish tradition. We walked into this square, Tirso de Molina, and we just found a bar. Any old bar would do. And I don't want to name the specific bar because I don't want to stigmatize it, because obviously it can happen anywhere, but I do want to take you into a bar that has a similar layout so that I can show you how I was robbed and how maybe you guys can avoid it happening to you. In the bar, I was standing here, the equivalent of here, and my Irish friend, imagine Yoly is an Irish man.
Good day.
That was like a bad, weird Australian.
I tried my best.
I was in a pretty intense conversation with my friend.
Speaking about the troubles, I guess.
At least Yoly's Irish humor is on point, if not the accent. I'd had a couple of glasses of wine. And so Yoly, at this point, what mistakes have I made?
You can't leave your things on the bar, or sometimes they have these things here actually where you can leave your phone or wallet. Don't do that. Just have all the stuff on you. If you have a backpack like you did, then have it on you, just really close by you. It can't be out of your line of vision, because then someone might just leave with it.
This was a mistake.
Yeah, that was a mistake. And I can see that you're making another mistake. Your phone on the bar. Obviously you have learned nothing.
Oh my God. And guys, a lot of these tips are actually in, little plug here, in my Madrid Revealed city guide. So just a little plug to help me try and recuperate some of the 10 grand. But at some point my friend went to the bathroom. So there was nobody there, but somebody did step in front of me. Somebody stepped in front of me here, and kind of there was some food on the bar, and they sort of looked over at the bar, and I was sort of staring at them, and I thought it was a bit odd, but I didn't think anything of it at the time. So anyway, we paid our bill and we walked out. I step out of the bar and I'm like, where's my backpack? I didn't have my backpack. And then I'm like, maybe I didn't take it from the restaurant. Maybe I never had it in the bar. Maybe I left it in the place we had lunch. I retraced my steps back to the restaurant. They were closed by now. I'd called and they didn't pick up, and I peered in the window and I couldn't see it where I was sitting, but I thought it must be there. And I just got in a cab to go home. But in the taxi, I called Yoly, who was at home, to tell her what had happened. And she said, well, why don't you check your Find My Mac feature on your phone? You know, where it locates where your laptop is. My laptop was in my bag. I hadn't even thought of it. It wasn't in the restaurant. It was in the middle of a square. It was getting dark when I got to the square, and I'm kind of poking my nose around looking for the bag because I've got my phone right here and I can see the bag, or at least the laptop is right here. At that point, a police patrol vehicle drives into the square. And so I show my phone to the cops and I show them that my laptop is here in the square. The police decide to search the square. They come back with a guy in handcuffs and my backpack. I open my bag and inside is my laptop. It's there in its little pouch, but the rest of the backpack is empty. The camera, the lens, 6.5 grand's worth of gear is not there. He told the police within the last hour he had bought my backpack with the laptop inside.
It's a fast market.
Very fast market. Obviously, that wasn't true. Still not quite computing what had happened. I jump in the police car because they say, let's go to the station. You need to file a report. I'm in one car. The guy who stole my stuff is in another car, and we head to the police station. But before I tell you the next stage, what happened at the police station and how you guys should handle dealing with the police if this happens, we need to find out about Yoly's robbery, which happened in this square.
In this same square.
A week or two later?
A week or two. So let me tell you my story. It was nighttime and I left with a friend. I saw a couple of cabs that were free and I wanted to jump in one of them. Just as I was saying goodbye and I was hailing the cab to just jump in it. And I don't know, I did feel some movement, maybe heard some voices about me, but not quite. So I just, the cab stopped and I jumped in it. As soon as I jumped in it, I checked my pocket and the phone was gone.
So can we take a step? Let me park the stroller. Can we take a moment? Hang on, the police are here to hear your story.
Yeah.
Can we take more police are here to hear? Can we take a moment to talk about pockets? Because I have my phone here in this pocket.
Yeah.
Where did you have it when you was? There you go. You got it in your
I
back
seem
pocket.
to never learn, right? Here
so
it is again.
where should we have? We should always have our phone and wallet in our front pockets, obviously, right?
Front pockets, but that's extremely uncomfortable for ladies who wear tight jeans like me. So I have this wonderful backpack, and if you use it well, then you have the zip. It's at the back of the backpack. And so here you go. You zip it up.
Nice. I always keep making the mistake of having my phone in my back pocket, my wallet in my back pocket. Yoly was doing it right now. When you had it stolen, your phone was kind of in here somewhere.
Yeah, in my coat, like the side pocket of my coat. So, and it was actually kind of picking out a little bit, so huge mistake. So I got home, I woke James up to tell him, believe it or not, but my phone just got robbed. I went to my computer and activated the lost mode on iPhone so that people can't use it or like pay with it. And then I actually got a couple of emails telling me at 3 a.m. in the morning where the phone was.
From Apple, right? Not from people, from the people who stole it.
From Apple. And I wasn't really kind of feeling frisky enough to just go to some random address at 3 a.m. in the morning. I just went to bed feeling sad, stupid, and a little bit worried about our finances that month.
So I was taken to the police station. You see the road is blocked off where the police station is. The police station is down here. I was taken there and it was 8 p.m. by this time, so it was getting late. And frustratingly, the entire national system, the computer system for filing police reports was down. It had collapsed. See point 11 in my recent video about things I hate about Spain and the technical level of bureaucracy here. So I had to sit there for hours waiting for the police system to come back online. Meanwhile, I was really thirsty, and frustratingly as well, I couldn't buy water with money from the vending machine. I had to open an online account with the vending machine company. It was very Kafkaesque. So I sat there thirsty, waiting for the police system to come online, and I realized I had an important decision that I had to make. This was a Thursday. This was Thursday night. On Saturday morning, we were driving to Catalunya to film our calçots video that we released, and I needed a camera for that. I needed kind of this camera that I'm filming with now, and I knew it was gonna cost me $6,500 for the camera and the lens, and I knew I would have to buy it in the morning. So I had to make a call in that moment as to whether I thought I was gonna ever see my camera again. And you know what, in my heart of hearts, I knew the camera and the lens, the whole kit, I knew it was gone. I knew I was never gonna see it again. So I decided that I had to go ahead and buy it in the morning, and I started checking on my phone to see who had it in stock. So first thing, we could go and drop $6,500 on the gear that I just had stolen.
Muy bien. Gracias.
So finally the moment came when I was gonna file my police report. I went in, I told the policeman everything that had happened, and he wrote it all down on the computer. He said I was really lucky that I had the serial numbers for my gear, because that was included in the report, and sometimes the police go to pawn shops and places like that to check serial numbers. When he finished writing out the report, he printed it out for me to read, and I read through it, and he'd made an error and missed one of the numbers in my serial number. Just make sure that you read the report before you sign it. So I signed it. I'm waiting for my court date. I don't know when that'll happen. I'm a Kiwi, so I said to Yoly, like, oh, in a couple of months. She was like, it could be,
a year.
A year. I felt like they actually were like, man, this has been a bad day for you, and we feel sorry for you. So it was nice to have a bit of empathy as well as them, taking care of business. How was your experience with the police?
I just talked to a couple of policemen that were in the city, and I asked them, where can I file the police report? And they told me, look, in any local national police station you can do that, so that was great. So I wanted to know whether insurance was going to cover maybe these robberies, so I asked these policemen. They kind of recommended that I lie to the police, and that I say that there was a little bit of aggression, just so that insurance will cover it. And then they said, well, but then you will get questions by the police, and so they will ask physical appearance of the thief. And so they said, just say it was a young Moroccan guy and you'll be fine. So I was pretty shocked and just kind of left speechless, and hoping that that was not a general behavior, right? Like that's like an exception.
Well, first they were telling you to lie to the police.
Yeah. But then when it came to actually filing the report, I went to my local police station, and it was a 10-minute wait, and they were fine, they were great, and I just filed it, and voila. I didn't find such empathy as James found, but hey, it was just an iPhone.
So you might be a little concerned and wondering, hey, I don't speak as good Spanish as Yoly. I'm gonna put a phone number down below that you can call anywhere in the country, and you can file your police report in English on the phone, and then you have to go within 48 hours to any police station, any national police station, and you can sign it, presumably without having that 3 or 4 hour wait. So how did I feel the next day? Spending $6,500 like that was, how would that feel for you? I think I felt sad. I felt really stupid. Stupid that I'd gone with 10 grand's worth of gear on my back to eat and drink and at a bar drinking with friends. I will never do that again. So I'm gonna try to be more aware of the space around me. I'm a little head in the clouds kind of guy. I'm also gonna get air tags. I know they don't quite work like Find My Mac and Find My Phone, but I think they're gonna help me for my expensive gear. But the challenge here for me is not to become a crazy paranoid person. I wanna be smart, but not paranoid. And that would be my kind of advice to you. Be smart, but don't become paranoid. Your emotions, Yoly?
I felt a little bit dumb. I felt sort of like vulnerable as well, and like I always thought that it wasn't going to happen to me, you know. I also felt annoyed that I lost a whole bunch of contacts that were in the cloud, and also my flamenco singing recordings, very dear to me, and they were in the cloud, so I lost that, so that's kind of sad.
I also, just before we finish, want to give a big thank you to Lingoda. This is not a sponsored video, but it's the online language school that I was doing an ad for, a sponsored video for, when all my stuff was stolen, and all the footage that I shot talking about them was stolen as well. So they were very gracious in giving me an extension. So I just wanted to give them another shout out. Don't get robbed.
Don't get robbed. Be careful.
Be careful. Don't be paranoid. Don't
Have
be
fun.
crazy. Ciao. Bye.